Christopher was not asked to write further volumes for the Railway series following the 40th title. Therefore, Christopher and Diana partnered to establish a new publishing company titled SODOR Enterprises. Under SODOR Enterprises, Christopher wrote and published a series of non-Thomas stories based on true-life events in real railways. These include The Chip Express and Lottie and the Enchanted Forest. In addition to this series, Christopher wrote and published the follow-up to The Island of Sodor, titled SODOR, Reading Between the Lines, as part of the 60th anniversary of the original book series. After several years of no publications, websites like SODOR Enterprises, The World of Thomas, and Awdry Family were shut down for unknown reasons. Whilst out of stock, signed copies of the book can still be found and purchased on eBay via Bookwise. From the creative side, this was the first season that Sharon Miller contributed to the show as a script editor. The previous script editors before Sharon were Paul Larson and Abby Grant between the 6th and 8th seasons, while Jan Page was also a script editor for the 7th season. Starting with Series 9 onwards, the narrator reads aloud the episode titles from the beginning of each story. During this season, there were Easter eggs in 2 episodes, an illustration from Tank Engine Thomas Again, visible inside the toy shop at Knapford, and a poster of Toys for Tots. These can be seen near the end of Thomas and the Toy Shop. At the beginning of Flower Power, there was an Ertl toy of Percy underneath the boy's bed, and above his head was a poster from Thomas and the Magic Railroad. Like the previous season, there were still plenty of technical problems. One in particular caused a huge stir within the fan base. In the early US narrations of some episodes featuring the narrow gauge engines, Rusty was depicted as female. From Calling All Engines through The Spirit of Sodor, 2 Entertain produced and distributed all DVDs in the UK, including the 6th and 7th series. On November 24th, 2008, the Classic Collection DVD box set had been released, featuring episodes from seasons 1 to 7. On March 15th, Drayton Manor Theme Park in Staffordshire officially opened their Europe Thomasland, filled with 10 rides, 2 play areas, live shows performed by the Fat Controller, and a 2-foot gauge railway line circling the land where visitors could take a ride with Thomas, Percy, and Rosie from Knapford Station to Farmer McColl's farm.
To have Thomas Land and, of course, Thomas the Tank Engine coming to Drayton Manor Park has made us one of the happiest families in the UK, to be perfectly honest. This guy's as big as Mickey Mouse for us. It's a real coup for the business.
Thomas Land stands on the former site of Robinson's Land, a themed area sponsored by the soft drinks of the same name. Because of this, all of the Robinson's Land rides, minus the veteran cars, now renamed to Sodor Classic cars, were removed and sold to Funland in Hayling Island. Hit Entertainment stated in their press release that their properties, including Thomas and Bob the Builder, will receive CGI treatment as a means to cost effectiveness. However, the first of Hit's properties to be produced in CGI animation was Fireman Sam, following a buyout from S4C. Thomas was soon relocated from its traditional live-action model animation at Shepperton Studios to the computer-generated imagery by Nitrogen Studios Canada Incorporated in Vancouver, founded by husband and wife team Greg Tiernan and Nicole Stinn. On the Licensing Biz article, Christopher Scala stated, Bob the Builder and Thomas and Friends have been delighting children all over the world for many years, so it was important to us that any change to the programming format retained the intrinsic charm of the characters and remained true to the core values of the brand. With our world-renowned production partners, Nitrogen, SD Entertainment, and CGCG, we felt it was the right time to refresh and update these lovable characters in CGI and take Bob and Thomas into a new era. While Peter Byrne, EVP of Consumer Products Worldwide at HIT, added, we are really excited about Bob and Thomas moving to CGI, as it heralds a new generation of consumer product for our licensing partners, in particular, a new range of Talking Thomas products. With new style guides in 2009, we look forward to bringing new lines of consumer product to market throughout the year. However, not everyone was particularly pleased with this huge makeover for the show itself. What fans did not realize was the cost to create the model series. It was extremely expensive. The news of his death wasn't announced until May 28th, and the fans of Thomas and Tugs were deeply saddened by this loss. Prior to his death, he and fellow Jerry Anderson producer David Lane worked on Adventures on Orsum Island under the name of their company, Pineapple Squared Entertainment. 9 episodes were produced before the project was abandoned following Mitten's death. Mitten was well aware of the changes to Thomas in his final correspondence with the SODOR Island fan site, having stated that he bid his farewell to the Thomas crew one last time in April. He stated that this farewell was bringing an end to 25 years of quality film work. If that wasn't enough, over a month after Mitten's death, George Carlin died of heart failure at a hospital in Santa Monica, California on June 22nd at the age of 71. He was cremated and his ashes were scattered without any religious ceremonies as he wished. Following his death, Britt Allcroft and Rick Sigelkow wrote tributes in dedication to his memory.
They came to me, and the reason I took it was here's that acting thing over here looking at me. I thought, well, I'll show another side of myself. I'll show a side that no one's expecting. And Mr. Conductor was complete departure from anything anyone would have expected from me, judging me by my persona on stage. So I did them, and it was fun, and they're out there, and I have them, and they're good. But it didn't take me anywhere.
Four years later, on September 20th, 2012, Stanley's popularity grew thanks to an online video on YouTube titled A Toy Train in Space by Ron Fugelseth. He used his son's favorite wooden railway toy, a weather balloon with an HD camera, and an old cell phone for GPS. In the end, the toy was recovered 27 miles away in a cornfield and was reunited with Fugelseth's son. John Lee, a veteran contributor and workshop crew member, went back to work with David Eves and Chris Lloyd on both the 11th season and The Great Discovery. John previously worked for the first season of Thomas as a model maker and designer back when Clearwater Features was active until its closure in 1990.